So, moving on to the third topic that I felt was interesting to me in this particular unit is the is trade organizations and the regulations that come with it. And the two big ones that we discussed in class were the WTO and GATT. And so the WTO, the World Trade Organization, is basically, I would call, the middleman or kind of the hub for different trade agreements, trade partnerships between different countries. And agreements can be made with countries who are within or who are members of the WTO. And usually they regulate what types of trades are going on, if there are any um, violations within trade agreements. You would go to them, and they're kind of like the end all, kind of the end all be all of trade. And the GATT, which is the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, and it was originally RTAA, but in 1948, the GATT became law and 23 countries signed to be a part of it. And with GATT, it is kind of the child of the WTO, where it deals with trade agreements and tariffs that go on, and issues such as dumping or hikes or reducing tariffs with its member countries. And actually today, GATT has 123 member countries. So, within GATT and the WTO, what I felt was very peculiarly interesting to me was the discourse and agreements and disagreements between TRIPS, which is the trade-related and intellectual property, and these are the rules that were established by GATT. And for me, I didn't realize that intellectual property, such as ideas or prototypes of products and stuff like that, could be a part of trade, or could even be because of copyright and all of that stuff. I didn't realize that could also be a part of trade. And I think that even though credit should be due to whoever is creating an idea or an invention, I feel like TRIPS could be an unfair advantage by developed nations to developing nations, which we have learned. And this kind of ties into a discussion that we had about the dark side, quote unquote, of the WTO. And the GATT and all these other trade organizations. And that with a field such as like the medical field, if someone has a cure for a deadly disease, like if someone has a cure for cancer and they made it in a developing nation, people in developing nations